Hello, students. I'm Shazli from Top Rankers, and I welcome you all to the session around rapid revision for 3-year LLB students. Well, students, this session is going to be very fruitful for the students since I'm going to take some really great RCs. Believe me, students, if you people think that you are good at RC, so today it's going to be your asset test because I have really chosen some great RCs along with interesting. It's going to be a combination of both easy and difficult RCs. So the first RC probably will be a little challenging for you. Second is easy so that you all can take a sigh of relief. Third, again, is going to be a little difficult for the students. I have taken difficult RCs considering NLSAT students, and they do ask passages around philosophy. They do ask passages around literature. They do ask passages around economics. So I've taken almost all the important genres in today's session. And we already know that philosophy is something which is a little difficult to handle. All right. So shall we begin with the session, students? So I expect each of you to read the passage, try to write down some important keywords from the passage so that you can frame the main idea and the summary as well. I just expect that each and every student should write down, say, 5 to 10 keywords. Maximum should be 10 keywords around the main idea. One particular keyword can depict one particular specific point, important point from the passage. That means keywords should be the depiction of the key points from the passage itself, and that's how you all can become active reader. So students, let's read the passage. I hope you all are making notes. Second slide is on screen, students. Hurry up. I'm giving extra time to passage one only because I know it's a little challenging for the students. It's about philosophy, psychology, so obviously. Come on. Students, if you want to have extra time so you can pause the video, kindly pause the video if you want to read the passage. I'm going to change the slide. Now, the last slide of this passage. Hurry up, students. You can pause the video, students, if you want to read, if you want extra time to read. I'm changing the slide. So pause the video if you wish to read. Now, question number 1 is on screen. Now, question number 2 is on screen. Hurry up, students. Question number 3. Question number 4 is on screen, students. Now, question number 5 is on the screen. All right. Now, allow me to explain this passage. All right, students. So when we talk about this passage, we are talking about actually this is a mix of psychology, mythology, a lot of stuff. So here in this passage, author is saying that the psychology has stepped into the shoes of mythology. That means earlier when people used to consider mythology and they used to figure out who they are, who they and what they want to do. Now we are doing the same thing, but we have changed the pattern. We have stepped into the shoes of psychology has stepped into the shoes of mythology. The work is same, just like mythology, but now the responsibility has been shifted to psychology instead of mythology. So this is what exactly the passage is all about. The passage actually argues that psychology isn't just a scientific discipline. It is also a modern day storyteller, like quietly taking over to the role of mythology once we had. And it's actually talking about we like the psychology is actually chasing what we are, who we are, and what we want to achieve in our life, the purpose of life. So that's what actually the psychology is doing. Earlier, this role was considered to be a role of mythology. Author has discussed a few points here. Like the first point here, the author has mentioned that psychology or mythology, like they both are connected because they both are doing the same task. They are communicating, some stories, and usually it's actually doing the work of storytelling, talking about discovering the self. All right. So, now this is what exactly the shift has been taken place. Now, second important point which is given there, like what is the simple definition of mythology? Now, when we talk about mythology, so mythology is something which can be considered a combination of belief plus ritual. All right. Earlier, it was supposed to be a combination of beliefs and rituals. Now, we need to understand one more thing here. Mythology, we use like beliefs and ritual we use to consider in order to, what do we call it? In order to tell the people about civilization, about their purpose in life, about existentialism, all these things were being conveyed in the form of storytelling so that we also get to know that we have come with a purpose. So, somewhere it is satisfying the questions around existentialism. Psychology is also doing the same thing. Existentialism is a terminology which has been used in both psychology and philosophy. Like the meaning of existentialism is that we are present, all right, everything exists with some purpose, and we have got two choices to give meaning to the life or to live without purpose. So that is the concept of existentialism. All right. So now psychology is also doing that kind of work over here. Now, when we talk about modern life, the role of mythology in modern life, so author is saying the same thing. Still, we are talking about heroism, movies, novels, comics. We do get the idea about how this world is existing, how do people work, how do people behave in a particular culture, society, civilization, and consumerism, vacation, which have been discussed here in the passage. If you see, I think somewhere here. All right. So, author has mentioned that social media now everybody is coming up with their own story of life. All right, again, it's a kind of storytelling. All right, so that has been discussed here in the passage. And author, now the third point, like history, when we compare psychology with history, now when we are talking about mythology, mythology is history only. All right, so that's what exactly is being discussed here. And when we compare, so we see that mythology is there in almost all societies. Even now the people are not considering mythology every now and then, but yes, mythology is considered to be in almost all the society. They have been existing, like even in the earlier societies as well. Now also we have society, but just the forms have been changed. That means the existence of mythology has always been there in almost all the societies of all the eras, all the ages. Just that they have changed the form. All right, we can see different forms of mythologies. All right. Now, after that, finally, the author is communicating that, like earlier, people used to search for the meaning in mythology. Now they have shifted to psychology and doing the same thing again and again. So this is what the passage is all about. Now, if I want to convey this in one line, so actually the author is explaining the role of psychology in place of mythology. The role is almost the same. Author has come up with some past references for the same and explained the new concept of like existentialism through psychology rather than mythology. Earlier, the boundaries were confined to mythology, but now we explain the same thing, existentialism, through or via psychology. So that's what the passage has uh, conveyed. Now let's see the questions, students. Question number one, correct answer choice for this. The author's discussion about axial age. Just give me a second. The myths primarily suggest that such myths were responses to social and spiritual transformations, reflecting an inward turn towards individual conscience. Now, when we talk about this, students, actually the correct answer choice should be B. Why? Because this clearly shows that myths responded to change and emphasized inner conscience. Now, when we talk about option one, mechanism to assert human complete dominance, which has not been discussed anywhere in the passage, so you can say not mentioned. All right. Now, option C, attempts to maintain traditional cosmologies unchanged despite emerging trade economies. It's just opposite to what is stated in the passage, students, isn't it? When we consider this point, myths change due to new conditions. That's why the concept have been evolved and have shifted to psychology. All right, so this is just opposite. Now, option D, means to prescribe universal rituals. Actually, this universal ritual is nowhere stated in the passage, so you can easily eliminate option D. Now, next question, question number six is on screen. Sorry, second is on screen. Well, student, the question is, which idea best captures the author's view on modern cultural forms such as art, social media, and leisure activities? For me, the correct answer choice is C. Why? I'll explain. Actually, if you consider, they act as arenas where personal narratives and significance are actively shaped. Yes, because that shows modern form help construct meaning and identity. All right. Even in the passage, it is written individuals have developed their own ways to create self narratives. So that's conveying option C. Now, why not other answer choices, students? They primarily serve as outlet for trivial entertainments without deeper significance. It's just opposite because we are talking about the existence purpose. All right. So that's just the opposite of what is stated in the passage. Now, They function as a structured system for transmitting historical knowledge. All right. So actually, it's not about transmitting historical data. All right. So you can say not the focal point. Now, option C is correct. Option D, students, um, they mainly operate to enforce social rules and collective obligations. Well, student, it's not about enforcing social rules. All right. So you can say not about enforcing social rules. Got it, students? Now, question number 3. What does the author imply about continuing relevance of mythology in contemporary life? Well, students, if I consider this question, I believe the correct answer choice should be A. It survives through reinterpretation, offering frameworks for underlining modern life. Why this option, students? Because mythology is still alive but transformed. It has come in a different way. It has evolved. So that has been discussed in the passage. Now, why not other answer choices, students? It has vanished entirely. No, it exists. It's existing, but in a different form. Option C. It primarily operates to regulate collective behavior and institutional structures. Don't you think, student, that this is too narrow to consider it a correct answer? Because the focus is meaning, not regulations. All right. I'm writing because the focus is meaning of life, meaning, not regulations. Now, option D, it is confined to historical texts without influencing on present day thought. Actually, this is incorrect because it's talking about confinement. All right, not confined to history. It is active today in the form of psychology. Earlier, it was mythology. Now it is psychology playing the same role. Now, question number 4. From the passage, the connection between the myths of the flood and the modern psychology implies that. See, students, I think the correct answer choice here should be B. Both emerge as ways to make sense of rapid societal and existential changes. Yes. Purely explanatory role without emotional and cultural significance. Actually, it should be related to cultural significance as well. This is contradictory, in fact, I would say. Because myths is the reflection of how people try to make sense of their rapidly changing world. Our dependence on psychology can be understood as a result of shifts. So that's B. Why not A? Because it also gives meaning. Why not C? Ethics, ethical behavior. That's not the goal of psychology and mythology. Both retain the same symbolic form across historical period without adaptation. Actually, forms do change over time. So I would say this option D, same symbolic. No, they do change with the passage of times. Now, next question, that's question number 5. As used in the passage, the word buttressed. So, student, you must know the meaning of the literal meaning of the buttress. Actually, buttress is supported or reinforced. Supported or reinforced. That way the students, for me, the correct answer choice should be strengthen is supported. Questioned repeatedly is opposite. Replace, undermined by opposing evidence is irrelevant. This was a direct vocabulary based question. Now, second passage is on screen. This one is easier. Second passage is comparatively, I would say, it's easier than the previous one. Come on, students, hurry up. Hurry up, students. Hurry up, students. Now, next slide is on screen. Come on, students, hurry up. Now, question number 6 is on screen. Question number 7 is on screen, students. Now, question number 8 is on screen. Now, question number 9. Question number 10 is on screen. Hurry up, students. Question number 11. All right. Now, allow me to explain this passage, students. बहुत ही easy passage था. It's about Mr. Rabindranath Tagore ji. All right, the passage basically conveys that he just think out of box. Actually, he practically threw the box. That means he grew up in a culturally rich family. They were intellectually buzzing family, I would say, and he soaked up the ideas just like a sponge and turned into a fresh, flexible education system. For him, learning is not about rote learning, it's about opening the new doors to nature, culture, and human connections. All right, while still staying true to one's root, I would say. So this is what exactly the passage is all about. It's a biographical depiction, and I would say, student, that the passage is conveying the life of Mr. Rabindranath Tagore and how he became intellectually a rich person and what actually contributed to become like that. All right, so that's what the passage is all about. Now let's see the questions. Question number 6. Not surprisingly, he found out his outside formal schooling to be inferior and boring. And after a brief exposure to several schools, He refused to attend school. Only degrees he never received were honorary ones. I believe here the correct answer choice is conferred. Why conferred? That means awarded. Awarded. We use for degrees. Awarded. All right. Here we are talking about degrees. So that's the correct answer. Squandered is wasted. Sustained is maintained. Unsurmounted is overcame. So we are talking about degrees. So conferred is the befitting answer choice. Question number two. What, according to the passage, inspired Tagore even at young age to create a dynamic model of education? Actually, correct answer is C. Young Tagore's extended families and intense excitement and cultural diversity inspired him to recreate a flexible, dynamic educational model later in his life. All right, why not? Other answer choices. His grandfather Dwarkanath involvement in supporting medical facilities, educational institution and the art, and his fight for religious and social reforms. Why not? Other answer choice. This option A because it's too narrow. I would say partially correct. C is better answer choice. Now, why not this young Tagore's love for nature? Actually, this nature learning came later. All right, at Shantiniketan. So I would say mismatch of chronology, making option B incorrect. Option D. Option D, students, Tagore's found his outside formal schooling to be superior and sublime. It's just opposite to what is stated in the passage. Now, question number 8. In participating the cosmopolitan activities of the family, Tagore came to reject narrowness in general and he saw education as a vehicle for appreciating the richest aspect of other cultures. Well, students, for me here, the correct answer is A. Why? Because here we are talking about open-mindedness and appreciation of other culture. That's why option A is the correct one. Why B? Because of the diverse culture in his family, Tagore grew fond of open mind, interpreting education as a means of understanding one's culture as the best. This is just opposite. It's accepting others' culture rather than keeping one's culture over others. All right, so this is opposite, contradicting. Option C, because of the narrow-minded ambience of his family, again it is incorrect. Opposite to what is stated in the passage. Given a variety of culture represented in his family, Tagore emphasized having an education system unique and affected by outside world. I think this option is because of the statement unaffected by the outside world. Actually, it was getting influenced by outside world. So I would say because of this statement, which is opposite, the option D can't be the correct answer choice. Now, question number 9. Which one of the argument made by the author is not true in reference to the passage? Now, students, let's see. For question number 9, passage says that art are important, not little part. So, obviously, students, for me, the correct answer choice is A, because we are talking about not true as per the passage. Rest of the options are good enough. Because of the word little part, because it was playing a major role, option C is incorrect as per the passage, hence not true. Now, question number 9, 10. Students, यहाँ पे आपको बताना था highlighted part of a sentence N. He envisioned an education that it was connected to the culture of. I think for me here, The correct answer choice should be, if you consider this, predicted upon pleasurable, this was highlighted. I'm sorry, I think it got missed by predicted by. So, wider world, predicted upon pleasurable learning. So, this pleasurable should have been highlighted here. All right, learning here is noun. Before noun, we always have adjective, hence A is the correct answer choice. I'm sorry it got missed, but nobody has commented in the chat box for the same. Now, question number 11. What was the purpose of holding classes in the open air at Shanti Niketan? I think here the correct answer choice is D. Uh, to make students appreciate the seasonal changes and flexibility of the plants and animal kingdom. Yes, under the lap of nature. To urge kids to learn about seasonable festivals. No, the children found outside formal schooling to be inferior and boring. It is opposite because he emphasized on studying outside. The cosmopolitan nature of his family had compelled him to conduct classes. Cosmopolitan nature is want appreciate the same thing. All right. So option C is also wrong, students. So the correct answer is D here. Now, students, I would like to skip this passage and continue with the next one, considering the fact this is again philosophy, and I think we will be having limited time to continue. So let's do this first. If time permits, I'll get back to you to the third passage. So let's solve passage 4 now, so that I can bring the variety. This passage is economic. So we are done with one literary passage. We are done with one passage on psychology mixed with philosophy. And the third passage is around economics. The fourth one, because the third one is around again philosophy. So I thought to take this, the passage with different genre. I've changed the slide, students. I hope you got enough time to read the passage. Now, question number 17 is on screen. Hurry up, students. Question number 18 is on screen. Hurry up, students. Question number 19. Come on, hurry up, students. Question number 20th. Now the next question, that's question number 21. Come on, students, hurry up. All right. All right. So, student, this passage basically is about development and the richness. So, we are talking about that development doesn't mean that it's all about money and to become rich. Otherwise, Maharashtra, which is considered to be one of the richest state in India, is still not developed, and because of many reasons. Then they cited one reason here, that's malnutrition cases over there. So, author has explained that there are multiple malnutrition cases there, and approximately 600 people died of children, especially died of hunger in Palghar district alone. And then the reported cases, they have mentioned that many people had been stunted, wasted, all right, and malnourished over there. So this is what exactly the passage is conveying. The passage also communicated that so many pregnant women are struggling with the basic things, and they keep suffering from iron deficiency and other stuff, calcium deficiencies and all. And that's the reason that government keep coming up with so many policies and so many plans for them. And we happen to see every now and then that they are being provided some free stuff, some medicines, especially the pregnant females. They also get some packets for nutritional food packets, or for, I would say, some kind of powder, all right, like grams powder and all. They keep getting, especially the pregnant ladies. And they also mentioned about, but still they could not, decrease the cases of malnutrition over there. Other than that, author has also mentioned one thing, that many people are, they don't even have, the basic balanced diet. Only they are being served dal chawal maybe twice or thrice in a day. Depends that the how if they can afford the 3 meals in a day or not. So people are actually struggling with even 3 meals in a day, 3 meals, and that too only for dal chawal over there. So that is also given there. They also talked about the tribal belt, where people who live, like in the countryside or the outskirts of the main city. All right, they too are struggling over there because Normally, their dependency on agriculture is there, but that has been affected badly in the recent few years. So that has also been discussed here in the passage. So student, let's talk about the questions directly. Author has also mentioned about microeconomy, nutrients like vitamins, fat, protein, carbs, all such things are being given there. But people miss that because they consume only dal chawal. That was the often most often and eaten thrice a day. These even served in a tea time too. Now they are not even having the dairy products with them. For adults, like even the adults drank black tea as milk was not unaffordable. Only 17% of the children achieved the minimum level of diet diversity. All right, and these eight food groups are missing. That is also being discussed in the passage. Now, let's talk about this question number 17, students. Which of the following is or are true as per the passage? So, I think all of the true are no, only one. Developing is more than just economic growth. See, the author has not talked about Bangladesh, Afghanistan, and Mozambique, irrelevant. On an average, the nutrition expenditure, actually, we haven't talked about budget also. So, on this statement two, hence A is the correct answer choice. Now, next question. What could possibly be some possible reasons? Now, we are talking about possible reasons. That means, in context to the passage given, what could be the additional information which can be considered as must be true? Now, we are talking about tribal belt household. So, loss of their traditional dependence on forest life. That could also be one of the reasons. Weak implementation of public nutrition schemes and worsening agricultural situation. I think all of them should be the correct answer. Must be true because though they have not been given there, but their author has already stated that what could be the possible reason. So we are talking about tribal belts. All right. So all these three in context to tribal belts will be the correct one. Now, next question. Which of the following is strengthen the claim? Now we are talking about strengthening the claim that nutrition indicator fare poorly in India. That means nutrition indicator is still poor in India. Or stunting decline is opposite because this will weaken the statement that nutrition indicator is still poor. If stunting decline, that means it's not poor. All right. Now, as per NHFS survey, wasting rate have increased from this to 25% over a period of, yeah, wasting has increased. So this is correct. This wasting doesn't mean wastage of food. It's about that the different groups of meals convey micro nutrients are missing there. So that leads to wasting. All right, that means they are eating, but they are not getting anything out of it. And the underweight rate has remained static. If it remains static, so this definitely uh, this also says the same thing that nutrition indicators fare poorly in India because 36% is still the 36%, not change, not improve. That means statement three, second and third is correct. Hence, D should be the correct answer choice. Now, next question. What is ironical about the situation mentioned in paragraph 1? All right, now, student, let's see what is ironical about the situation. I think the irony was that rich states, even though states may be classified as rich with a poor, high per capita income, they may not be really developed. And we gave the example of Maharashtra in paragraph 1 itself. So B is the correct answer choice. States do not have adequate resource to feed poor even when there are enough resources with the center is irrelevant answer choice because this is explicitly given. Development of state depends on sustained economic irrelevant again. The level of malnutrition is abnormally high in state which have higher growth. No, actually, this is not contradiction that always the rich states will have these cases of malnutrition over there. All right, so this is also misleading answer choice. Now, the last question for today's students. As per the passage, which of the following is or are in needed for adequate meal? macro and micronutrients, multiple food groups, and high. Now we are talking about the first and second are correct because if some people suffering from malnutrition, they will not go for intermittent fasting, obviously. So macro micronutrients and multiple food groups, that means first and second. First and second, hence C should be the correct answer choice. All right, students. So that's all for today. Thank you so much. Bye. Take care.